Thank you. I appreciate you going to the post office for me.
Of course, but you should get out more. It's not much of a town, really, but the drive is nice.
I'm sure how to get lost.
Impossible. There's only one main road. It goes straight through town. Oh, I'm just so glad we're friends. Summers here can be real dull. I'm glad to have someone to talk to. Not that I can't talk to Henry. He's a real sweetheart. And raising boys takes up a great deal of my time, but not as much during the summers. Mama's loves taking over, and believe you me, I let her. I never imagined I'd have twins and boys. Oh, I've had it up to here in baths, diapers, and feedings. I suppose you and Lacey's mother are close.
Yes. We've gotten to know each other some. She stays pretty busy with committee meetings and lunches.
That's good. I can't imagine raising the boys without my mother. Your mother passed, didn't she?
Yes. A few years ago.
Before you and Lacey met? Before you moved to Dallas?
Yes. Um, would you like some more tea?
Yes, please. It's a scorcher today. Oh, my heart goes out to you, Joe Costa. I'd be lost without my mother, my whole family. Your father was in Cotton, right?
Yes. He owned a small farm.
Nearby?
Oh, you know these small Texas towns. Where are any of them really located?
Sure, but one likes to know.
Goodness. I never imagined my life story to be of any interest to anyone.
Of course I'm interested. You know you can talk to me about anything, even if you haven't already told Liz.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's just, there are some things I don't know how to talk about yet.
Oh, sure, but you know you can't hide anything in this little family of ours. Unless, of course, you keep it to yourself, and even then, well, there are things that show, if you know what I mean.
No, I haven't the slightest idea of what you're talking about.
Silly, it means that in about 5 months, if I'm counting back right since Leah's left, I'll be throwing you the biggest baby shower this Ricky Dink town has ever seen. Let's just hope this war will be over before the baby comes. It would be such a shame for Leah's to miss everything. Not that they're that much of a help to you when your time comes. When I had the twin, Henry did nothing but get in the way the whole time. Hardly knew his way to hospital when it came down to it. I had the boys over in Athens, which is nothing but a straight shot up 287. Good Lord, it took us forever to get there with me screaming out directions the whole time and him sweating like a pig, apologizing left and right. But he likes to think he had a hand in it. You should have heard him go on and on. He's so proud. So that's good that you're right to Laius to tell him all about it. That way he can tell all the new friends he's making over there about it, and he can be real proud of you. You have written to tell him about it, haven't you? Joe Costa?
Hmm? Oh, no, you're right. It's a shame he won't be here. We found him, Pentheus. The hunt is over. Here's the animal you sent us after. And not so dangerous after all. Quite docile, to tell the truth.
We had no trouble over him, handed himself over without a murmur, held out his arms for the chains, no attempt to run or hide or escape our dragnet. To confess the truth, that bothered me. I was, well, quite embarrassed. It seemed not quite playing the game for a professional, caught a conflict and all that. Well, I felt quite ashamed. I said to him, "Stranger, I am not here by choice. I take orders, and my orders were to bring you live to Pentheus." He seemed to understand. "Oh, another thing. The women you locked up in Gal are free. They've shed their chains. They're up away in the forest and mountains, running like deer, calling their god Bromius. He seems to be their master, governs them completely. Naturally, I probe the matter. I am compelled to report the truth. It was no human man's hands that snapped those chains. No human cunning picked the locks on those iron gates. The thing is beyond me. I say no more. The rest is your affair."
Push and breathe and push and breathe and push and breathe. On TV, her water breaks at a restaurant, and Sherman Helmsley delivers the kid in the back seat of a cab. It's all over in 5 minutes. Cut to the Jiffy commercial. Good night. In real life, the end is just the beginning. Birth rights. You arrive like Mandela released, like the judgment, color after the rain, blackouts, black holes, cursed nights, black and white fictions. Welcome to the world. The end is just the beginning. Birth rights. Mother Nature and Father Time making matter effect, an act of deliverance, and alleluia. On TV, the mother grabs the father by the neck. "You did this to me, you goddamned." In real life, there isn't much humor in the pain. I am holding her hand, reminding her to breathe. And I notice that death is on the other side of her, whispering seductively in her left ear. She wonders out loud if it's not too late to change her mind, if she still has to go through with this. What are my other options? She is Jesus on the cross, Elegua among the waters, Veve on the ground, a warrior sojourn in sands. And it's been drama, but we are still here. Friends, committed like the horizon to raising a son. We are family for life. The end is just the beginning. Even when forced to breed, the human impulse somehow impels us to bleed and sweat. Serenade fuck yous to death. We are still here, ever stillborn. A Urugu twin, doubly conscious. Glory unto the Lord and to the levitating morn. Don't you mourn, Martha. This is all it took for us to get this far. Birthrights, blackouts, black holes, whole earths. Hold on and push and breathe and push and breathe, and yet you were always here, as young as the universe is old. Welcome back. Birthrights, blackouts, black holes, whole earths. Hold on and push and breathe and push and breathe and push and breathe and I realize that I'm in very little position to make demands.
I'm glad you see that is clear.
My wife, she has nothing to do with this. Please, promise me you won't hurt her.
Your wife is no longer your concern.
If you touch her, I will come.
What? The Black Renegade intends to end this genocide. We cannot stand by while these horrific tragedies are inflicted on our people. Here's one. I bet you've never heard it.
I don't want to hear any more jokes.
Oh. It's a riddle. You'll never get it. What walks on 4 legs in the morning, 3 legs in the afternoon, 2 legs in the evening?
Man.
What?
Man.
No, I heard you. Nobody ever gets that. I mean, no one.
Who told it to you?
An old man, blind prophet. You know things about you, things you didn't want to know.
Tiresias.
You know him.
I did once. In another lifetime. Do it then. Quickly. So it's over. Done. Don't talk so much.
That the way you would,
If I ever had to, you mean?
Yeah, I guess. Right.
She would have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word. Tomorrow, and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time. And all of our yesterdays have lightened. Fools. The way to dusty death. Out, brief Candle! Life's but a walking shadow. A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage. And then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
I believe in him, and I must. There's this race to be one, and my folks is losing. Past is prologue. Our epicenter is an ancestor's epilogue. An epithet if we ain't ease that ancestor's burden. Yet, he used his great-grandfather's death as a scroll to scribe a scripture. Whisk the man back to life with unborn whisper. Son, do you know who you are? An ascendant, descendant, deciphered from stars. Our day of reckoning, a collection of prayers, missteps, and cold stares. Daymares on unforgiving mountain trails. An unrelenting heat. Our ancestors half bitterly ate our sugar cane. You are the sweet never tasted by their sweat-soaked tongues. They begged for you to be here, never knowing who or what you become.
I want to show you this kitchen. It is like those of our houses in California. We have such things. This is our newest model. This is the kind which is built in thousands of units for direct installations in the houses. In America, we like to make life easier for women. Your capitalistic attitude toward women does not occur under communism. I think that this attitude toward women is universal. What we want to do is make life more easy for our housewives. This house can be bought for $14,000, and most American veterans from World War II can buy a home in the bracket of $10,000 to $15,000. Let me give you an example that I know you can appreciate. Our steel workers, as you know, are on strike. But any steel worker could buy this house. They earn $3 an hour. This house costs about $100 a month to buy on a contract running 25 to 30 years. We have steel workers and peasants who can afford to spend $14,000 on a house. Your American houses are built to last only 20 years, so builders could sell new houses at the end. We build firmly. We build for our children and our grandchildren. American houses last for more than 20 years. But even so, after 20 years, many Americans want a new house or a new kitchen. Their kitchen is obsolete by that time. The American system is designed to take advantage of new inventions and new techniques. This theory does not hold water. Some things never get out of date. Houses, for instance, and furniture, furnishings, perhaps, but not houses. I have read much about America and American houses, and I do not think that this is exhibit and what you say is strictly accurate. Well, I hope I have not insulted you. I have been insulted by experts. Everything we say, on the other hand, is in good humor. Always speak frankly.
Was the hope junk wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since and wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time such, I account thy love. Art thou afraid to be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteemest the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem? Letting I dare not wait upon, I would, like the poor Carthage adage. What beast was then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, and you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more a man. Nor time, nor place depended here. And yet, you would make both. They have made themselves, and that their fitness now doesn't make you. I have given suck. And know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from his boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you have done to this.
Everything. The very mountains seem to sway to that one beat, a beat like the heart of 1,000 men in unison. The beast moved with them. They seemed touched by a savage divinity. It quickened. The Miendes were swift upon their feet, wrapped, unseen, blind to all except the visions of their God. Agave raced towards me. She flew close, her arms flashing like blades, and I leapt, my hands hot on the quarry. That scream. I will never forget that screaming summons from her lips to her swift hounds, for so she turned them, exhorting them to follow and turn hunted. And they obeyed her. We changed roles and became the hunted, fleeing for sweet life. Fleeing for sweet life. Another moment, we would have been shredded like chaff, balked at their prey, balked of their prey. The Miendes turn upon our herds. Unarmed, they swoop down on our heifer grazing in the meadows, nothing in their hands, nothing. The bare arms sufficed. They rent young, stalky heifers in two. You should have heard their death bellows. Seen these frail, built creatures wrench full grown cattle, limb by limb, ribs, hooves, spiral in the air, fall in torment of blood.
Yes. Yes. Seattle's beautiful. What do you want to know? Um, I try to remember that for as many negatives there are, there must be that many positives. And so I keep looking at the positives and I keep trying to remember that there are beautiful colors and that I'm saving my life. And that's what matters. And it doesn't matter where I live, and it doesn't matter any of it. Just so long that I'm alive. And that I'm making a difference in this world because no one's going to stop it. I'm going to do the right thing and I'm going to save my life. And hopefully do good in the lives of others. Yeah, it's like camping. You have to. You have to. Because you have to get through it. And you have to remind yourself that you are a person. You are not an object. You are not a thing. And it doesn't matter who threw you away, and it doesn't matter how you were treated in the past. You are worthy of getting through it, getting through this. And so you have to be positive. You have to love yourself because no one's coming to save you. You gotta do this, and that's the only way to do it. If you got to be a Disney princess to get through it, be a Disney princess. That's my advice. Yes. Oh gosh. Can you imagine? Okay, I complain a lot about addiction. And I complain about them letting people flailing about, you know. They don't get treated. And so we have to be around it, or those of us who are not on it. I complain a lot about it. But I also, on the other hand, understand. For example, I have a list of conditions. If I was not able to do what I do and had to sleep on a cold sidewalk and had nothing to temper the cold or the pain or any of it, yeah, I could see grabbing something to get through. The pain would be unbelievable. Actually, there's millions that get it in the United States because there are millions that are just like me or worse off than me. Like I said earlier, that I do look at the positive. I try to get through it by thinking whatever. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful life. There's gorgeousness. Whatever, I'm camping. The birds singing. Whatever. You know, I've made friends with all the spiders. It's wonderful. But when you get companies coming and you want to clean and you're like, okay, company's coming and I'm going to clean, then you realize that there is nothing that affects this. The reality is that there's nothing that makes it pretty. There's no roses to throw it on. Don't want it, there's no. You feel like the day you did when you lost it all because you realized that all the hard work you put in, you still live under a bridge, and that's where you're at.